Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel, I hope. Everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Golden Bachelorette men spill behind the scenes details. There are tons of moments that happen behind the scenes on the Golden Bachelorette that never make it to television screens. Fans saw the men all reunite at the Men Tell All special last Wednesday. Since they were all back together again, they did some interviews and revealed some details of things that happened. Plus, they shared how they really feel about each other. What did they say? Keep reading to get all the details. Golden Bachelorette men share behind-the-scenes glimpse at their friendships. The men of the Golden Bachelorette have captured the hearts of viewers. They all seem to have tremendous respect for each other and developed friendships that will last forever. Was it all real? The men say their bromance was definitely the real deal. Their life at the mansion was filled with food and tons of laughs. While their sleeping conditions were not really ideal, they made the most of what they'd been given. The group spoke with people about their feelings on several topics and asked the men to pick their favorites. A few of the men, like Jonathan Roan, researched the shows so he would know what to expect. However, he dished that the experience and the brotherhood with the other men was nothing like he expected. Jonathan said, "I had no idea what I was walking into. I'd seen shows in the past of competition, drama, things like that, but for the first time for guys in the 60s plus, I had no idea. And from the first night, we all just gelled together and no drama. All laughter, all bonding." Keith Gordon chimed in, noting that the men all seemed like fraternity brothers. Some of them picked their favorites. One question asked of the Golden Bachelorette men is who among them was the most low maintenance. Of course, everyone knows the most high maintenance suitor was Pascal IP. As for low maintenance, Pascal said it would either be Mark Anderson or Keith Gordon. Jonathan disagreed and named Charles Ling as the winner for being low maintenance. Who was the most sensitive man in the mansion? Most agreed that title would go to Mark. He even agreed with that answer himself. They were also asked who was the best cook. Many named Jack and were bummed when he was sent home. Others said Mark and Charles were the best chefs in the mansion. Mark joked that he helped Charles prepare a 17-course meal and was chopping things for hours. Needless to say, the men all had a great time together in the mansion. It seems like their bromance will continue for years to come. The glimmer of rose ceremonies and the shimmer of moonlit dates only scratch the surface of the real Golden Bachelorette experience. Beyond the edited highlights and dramatic montages lies a world of unscripted hilarity, camaraderie, and unexpected revelations that never make it to air. Lucky for us, several contestants have taken it upon themselves to pull back the curtain, sharing behind-the-scenes details that are equal parts surprising and entertaining. Here's what we learned about life inside the mansion, the hidden quirks of Joan Vassos, and the drama that never reached our screens. The brotherhood you didn't see coming. While the show is a competition, many of the men confessed that one of the biggest surprises was the sense of camaraderie they built with each other. "It's like summer camp, but with tuxedos and roses," joked Pascal Edguy, who became the fan favorite for his laid-back humor. You wake up every day surrounded by these guys, who are technically your competition, but soon they feel like family. We'd spend hours between filming just swapping stories about our lives, our kids, and, of course, past dating disasters. I haven't laughed that hard in years. One evening, Pascal and Guy Gansard led an impromptu karaoke session in the mansion's living room. We had no music, so it was just a bunch of us belting out Sweet Caroline like a group of rowdy teenagers, said Chalk Chapel. That moment never made the final cut, but it's something I'll always remember. The Joan effect. While viewers were enamored by Joan's grace and elegance, the men revealed that her off-camera moments were just as captivating. "She has this amazing sense of humor," said Jordan Heller. "One night, we were all waiting for a group date to start, and she came in wearing these fuzzy slippers and sipping tea like it was the most normal thing in the world. She looked at us and said, 'This is what you're really signing up for.'" Joan also had a knack for connecting with everyone, no matter how brief their time together. She has this ability to make you feel like the only person in the room, shared Mark Anderson. Even when there were cameras everywhere, it felt genuine. That's rare. The dates that got weird, not every romantic setup went as planned. Some dates veered into the hilariously awkward territory, and the men weren't shy about spilling the tea. One contestant, who asked to remain anonymous, recounted a horseback riding date gone wrong. They didn't tell me I'd be riding the most stubborn horse in the stable. The thing wouldn't budge, and I ended up holding up the whole group. Joan was laughing so hard she had tears in her eyes. They cut the footage, but trust me, it happened. Then there was the infamous pottery date. The producers wanted this ghost moment, said Guy. But none of us had ever touched a pottery wheel before. By the end, there was clay everywhere, and Joan's vase looked more like a pancake. We were all a mess, but she was such a good sport about it. Producer shenanigans. It turns out the producers played a bigger role in shaping the narrative than anyone might have guessed. They'd ask us questions in our interviews to stir the pot, revealed Chalk. Stuff like, do you think Guy is here for the right reasons? Or, what would you do if Joan kissed Pascal? It was all to create drama, but most of us saw right through it. The infamous champagne stealing incident was another producer-engineered moment. They told me to grab a bottle from the fridge, confessed Mark, laughing. I didn't even know it was Pascal's, but the next thing I knew, it was this huge deal on the show. We laughed about it later, though. No hard feelings. Late-night bonding. When the cameras stopped rolling, the mansion turned into a hub of late-night conversations and mischief. We had this unofficial poker night every Thursday, said Pascal. The stakes? Whoever lost had to do morning yoga on camera the next day. Jordan revealed that one of the men, a retired chef, often took over the mansion's kitchen. He'd whip up these gourmet snacks for everyone. It was a miracle we all fit into our suits by the end of filming. The drama you didn't see. While the show certainly had its share of on-screen tension, some of the juiciest drama was left on the cutting room floor. One of the biggest controversies involved a misunderstanding over a heartfelt letter Joan wrote to one of the men. Somehow, it ended up in the wrong hands, said Guy. It turned into this whole thing where everyone was trying to figure out who it was really meant for. It was like a romantic game of Clue. And then there was the time two contestants had a heated debate over whether Joan preferred wine or whiskey. It sounds ridiculous now, said Mark. But in the moment, it felt like the most important thing in the world. Turns out she likes both. The rose ceremony ritual. Before each rose ceremony, the men developed a quirky tradition to calm their nerves. We'd do a group chant, said Chalk. Something silly like, roses or no, bras before woes. It started as a joke, but it became this little moment of solidarity. Post-show reflections. Looking back, many of the men admitted that their golden Bachelorette journey was about more than just finding love. I went in thinking it was all about Joan, said Jordan. But I came out of it realizing it was about rediscovering myself, too. Mark echoed this sentiment. At our age, you don't just jump into something like this lightly. But being there, surrounded by these incredible people, reminded me that it's never too late to take a chance. What they want fans to know. So, what would they say to the millions of fans who tuned in each week? Don't believe everything you see, said Guy. There's so much more to the story than what airs. The real magic happens when the cameras are off. Pascal added, and keep rooting for love, whether it's on TV or in your own life. If there's one thing this show taught me, it's that love doesn't have an expiration date. As for Joan, the men were unanimous in their admiration. She's everything you saw on screen and more, said Mark. Whoever she ends up with is one lucky guy. And with that, the curtain falls on the behind-the-scenes tales of the Golden Bachelorette. If anything, these stories remind us that reality TV is often more real and more ridiculous than we ever imagined.